guys, I am Rebecca and these are my reviews, and I have my September BOXYCHARM. So this month, all access, I don't know, anyway. First thing in here is this beautiful palette from Too Faced. This is the Natural Face palette. The packaging on this is so lovely. It's kind of retro and gorgeous and looks like it should be in your boudoir, you know what I mean? Beautiful mirror there. It's a nice heavy metal palette, and these are face things, except that I use them on my eyes too because, you know, why not, right? So anyway, you've got a matte bronzer, a shimmery kind of pinky bronzer, it's like a satin blush because it's not really, it doesn't seem fully matte, but it's not super shimmery either. And then this one is definitely matte, and then two highlighters. So it's a gorgeous palette. I love the lacy detail in the actual pans. It's Too Faced. I love Too Faced. The first thing that I noticed when I first opened it was it smells really good. It's all that like chocolate goodness, I don't know. So I really like using this. I like the color schemes. I don't know if they have different versions. I was looking on my box to see if like this was, you know, the light or medium or #1. I couldn't find anything. So if you know, let me know. Otherwise, I think the colors are gorgeous. I really enjoyed using it. You do have to use a very light hand because some of these colors are crazy pigmented, especially like this bright pink blush. It's very pigmented, but you know, easy to blend out and all of that, so it doesn't make it impossible to use. If you are having a little trouble, one little tidbit is to put a powder on first, you know, put like a face powder, translucent powder on your cheeks, and then that will help it to blend out a little bit easier, because if you're putting it right onto your sticky foundation or even just your sticky face, the colors stick. So anyway, love this gorgeous palette. Okay, the next thing in here is from Dr. Brandt. This is the Biotic Recovery Sleeping Mask. It's supposed to be good for irritated skin. It's supposed to be soothing and all of that. And generally speaking, I love sleeping overnight type of hydrating masks, but Dr. Brandt is not cruelty free, and I feel like this is just one of those products that I wasn't super excited about as is, so I will set it aside and either do a giveaway, or what I've been doing with a lot of my products lately is I save them for this charity that basically helps women get back on their feet. So, you know, they could use a little skincare, makeup, whatever I've got laying around, I, you know, try to give to them. So, okay, anyway, moving on. The next thing is a brush kit. These are from MODA, which is a Royal and Langnickel offset, or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Royal and Langnickel owns them. I do have some MODA brushes that I really, really love. In fact, this one right here, this is the BMX 430 crease. I got in a BOXYCHARM 1,000 years ago, and it is one of my very favorite brushes because of the just the amount of fluffiness, the taper on it. It's so perfect for getting in my crease. This is my all-time favorite crease brush. So I was happy to have another one because, you know, I love brushes and it's always nice if some of them are dirty. These are all dirty because I used them today. So anyway, fantastic crease brush. This one is like a fluffy, flat shader brush, which is great. I use that for packing on the color onto my lid right there. This one is kind of a round but tapered, a little dense. It's not crazy dense. I used this for like my inner corner, and, you know, just to get like a highlight color right in there. And I thought that it worked really lovely. You could use this for all sorts of things. It's not quite dense enough to be great for like smudging, but for under your eyes or maybe, you know, smaller detail, whatever. It's a nice size brush. This one is great for smudging out eyeliner, which is one of my favorite ways to do my eyeliner because it's basically foolproof. You know, you just put on eyeliner or use eyeshadow or whatever and then smudge it out because it's nice and short, dense bristles, really wonderful. And then this one is an angled liner brush, which could be used for liner or your brows or whatever. And it's a little bit on the thick side, but it's not too bad. And it's got a nice density to it to make it kind of stiff. So I think for me personally, I would probably end up using this more for my brows, but it is a really great little liner brush. So that was a nice 5-piece set. I love it. The next thing in here is from Hank & Henry. This is the Blickity black eyeliner. The lid on this is brown, and so I was convinced that this was going to be brown. Even after like swatching it on my hand, it's like, is that brown? And it just looks black. It is black. So Hank & Henry, is a YouTuber and came out with his own line of makeup. I have a couple of his liquid lipsticks that are phenomenal, so I was really excited about this. It looks like it's going to be a felt tip pen, but it's actually a brush. Reminds me a lot of the Kat Von D one, which is fantastic. So I'm excited that it is a brush and not a felt tip because I feel like these work better and last longer. So I used this today to create this wing, and I wore it yesterday. I even wore it this morning when I worked out just to get that like sweaty face, is it gonna smudge kind of a thing. Doesn't smudge. The way that it dries is sort of a satin finish. It's not totally matte. Yesterday when I swatched it on my hand, it stayed on my hand all day. Even, you know, washing my hands several times, it stayed on. It faded a little bit, but it didn't ever smudge. Now on my eyes, I feel like that shininess can get kind of crumbly. It hasn't like crumbled down onto my cheeks, but when, you know, by the end of the day, when you look closely at it, it looks a little crumbled. Definitely not smudged, but you know, and it will wipe off. Like if you rub your eyes, it'll definitely wipe off. And then retouching over, because those shiny bits can get a little crumbly, sometimes you get, you know, like an uneven. It just makes it a little bit difficult. But because it is a brush, it glides over it, and I actually was able to touch up and not have any issues. So I do like this. I think it's really easy to apply. For the most part, it wears nicely throughout the day. I haven't had any smudging. It doesn't transfer, you know, like I was doing this a lot to see if it would transfer to my upper lid. Didn't transfer at all. And it dries really quickly. So there are a couple of cons, but for the most part, I think this is awesome and I will definitely use it. And then the last thing in here, this one is $1 Billion Brow, the Microblade Effect Brow Pen. This one is a felt tip marker. It's got, let me zoom you in. Okay, can you see the tip on this? It's very thin this way, but it has like these 3 bumps on it, which I think is supposed to be that whole microblading kind of a thing. I like the idea of this. The color is taupe and it is quite light. This is it on the back of my hand. I was trying to get it to work because I felt like nothing was coming out. So ideally, you would be able to lightly brush it and get those 3 lines to give you a microblading, you know, faux hair kind of an effect. But the tips of it dry out. So you kind of have to smush the sides to get the ink to come back out, and then you can get sort of a little brushed effect. But it's kind of difficult to do, and it's not like you press it in and it kind of pushes back. Like this one, when you push it into the cap, it pushes this back so that the liquid actually fills the brush. Like, you know, it's got this spongy thing so that the liquid fills the brush. This one does not have that, and so you're left with a dried out marker, which is why I do not like the felt tip liners, and I feel like that is the fault in this one as well. If they had done it more like the Hank and Henry one, where it was actual bristles, you know, and not just a felt tip, I think it would have been awesome. The color is a little bit light, but not bad. I actually do like using things this color just because I don't want super bold brows. I mean, I've already got pretty bold brows. So I did use it today as, you know, just to kind of try to fill in, but it really doesn't make that big of a difference. And like I said, I was having a really hard time actually getting any of the product onto my brows. So this one for me is kind of a dud. But other than that, I thought that it was a great box and I am overall happy with it. So let me know what you guys got in your boxes. Let's see, does this have number 13 is my box. So let me know what you guys got in your boxes. What were your favorite items? I think honestly my favorite are the brushes, or maybe the palette, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!